Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So we're having a bit of fun today. We're taking the new starter decks. We got Mastemon versus Imperialdramon. Now we are going under the assumption that we've taken and bought two starter decks each of the different ones, so we're playing with a full card pool for building these decks, assuming we have 4 cards of every single deck to build with. That doesn't leave a whole lot of extra room. I think it's like an extra 6 cards or something like that. So there's just a few things in each of the decks that you won't use. There's some extra level 5s I think that each deck has that you won't use. But I'll show the lists at the end. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Don't forget, though, our new memory marker this month for April is Kokomon. So if you are on some Cherubimon deck right now, this is the perfect memory marker for this. This is Cherubimon's baby form here. Super adorable. Handmade out of clay by my wife. Hand painted as well. Now, if you want to get this, you can find the link in the description below for our Etsy page. There you can also find all of the previous memory markers we've had on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. Alright, so it looks like we got an Imperial going first there, hatching the baby that gives that plus 1000 DP buff. And then evolving here, this is the rookie blocker that comes with the deck. Honestly, not that bad. 0 Evo cost blocker. Pretty solid card, I think. And then going into the starter deck XVmon, this is the one that reduces its play cost if there's a green on field. Kicking it over there, we got Narrowmon here, and then they go into the new Ghostmon, which same thing has the blocker rookie, and then goes for a Tsukaimon. On play effect, reveal the top 3, I believe, of the deck, and then you can add one of either Angel, Fallen Angel, or Archangel, and it looks like we do have a whiff there on that. So basically, that's going to hit all your level 5s in your deck and your Mega. So yeah, all your big in-game pieces is what that Tsukaimon is searching out there. So kicking it back over to the Imperial here. Going to go ahead and see that promoted up XVmon. And then just going to hard play a Vmon here to pass turn, which this is very similar to the Tsukaimon, which is reveal top 3, and then you can add a Digimon that has free in the type. Going to pick up that Stingmon. That's the on-play Stingmon that reduces its on-play cost. Fantastic card for this deck overall, I would say. So they're going to promote up that Ghostmon here. Looks like they're going to go ahead and swing up that Tsukaimon. Just get a nice, easy, free check here, knowing that Imperial is a very fast deck. You cannot waste any time here. And then just Evos into the Gatomon to pass turn here. So no on-play effect or anything like that. But is a great setup piece for sure for your follow-up plays. And then we're going to kick it over to Imperial again. Same thing in the raising area. And then just 2 Evo costs. Couldn't even play the Stingmon. Needed to be at 2 memory to get that Joggerus off. Looks like they're going to get that opportunity now, though, as Purple yet again having to play another Tsukaimon just to dig. Looks like it's needing probably a Lady Devi, if I had to guess. And there we do see a Lady Devi come up, and which they do go ahead and add to hand. Looks like they are running the the Mastemon. It's an interesting choice considering the other 2s are so much better. Then we're going to see that Stingmon, XVmon, Joggerus into Imperialdramon here. 0 cost to DNA Digivolve. Draw 1 for Evo, and now that Imperialdramon does get to attack twice here, and that Stingmon can trigger. Make sure you trigger these twice. I'm not sure if we triggered this one twice in this one or not. First check is good here. It does have a nice 2000 DP buff. Here you can see the struggles of the ping as we cannot get this card off the table, and then we just throw it into oblivion there. Pretty brutal stuff. And then hits into a Mastemon on that second security check. I don't think we got the Stingmon draw off of that either, because that's not once per turn, so make sure you do that every single time. XVmon here going to go ahead and Evo and draw. And you also got to be careful. If you are playing this deck with just the starter decks, you only have 4 blue level 4s in the deck. So if you go too aggressive with your XVmons and allow them to possibly get deleted, you're hurting yourself tremendously. So we're going to see that Lady Devi get Evo for 1 as the ping just sends it shooting off the board. yeah, playing with bad ping is so brutal sometimes. So the reason that Lady Devi is only 1 Evo cost is because of that Gatomon right there. It literally has the effect that if an angel or a fallen angel, or I forget the exact text, it's if the level 5 angel's Evo on top of it reduces the Evo cost by 2. And then Lady Devi's effect here, reveal the top 3. You can add one of the angels to your hand. You are supposed to discard before you do that, though. We do go ahead and do that here. It doesn't change too much as they already had a second Angelomon in hand. So this will pass turn on play minus security attack 2, but also that Gatomon coming in clutch here. So when you pass your turn, you can then immediately DNA Digivolve, which is great stuff here. So Mastemon going to come out. Mastemon's effects will trigger, takes a level 5 or lower yellow or purple Digimon from trash, adds it to security, then gets to check security and play any color level 5 or lower Digimon. So go ahead and grabs that Angelomon out of trash and that it discarded earlier, puts it in security, plays it immediately, gets its on play effect, so minus the security attack on the rookie there, and then Mastemon's last effect, when a Digimon is played by an effect, you get to delete a Digimon of that level or lower, so then gets to delete that XVmon. So that's what I was saying earlier about you got to be careful your XVmons, because you have a limited number of blues. So here we're gonna see the new blue-green option here is suspend anything on your opponent's side of the field, and then bounce a suspended Digimon to the hand. Only 5 play costs for that. Absolutely, like, it's Kakaitis Breath, just even better because it's even cheaper. 2 cheaper, and you get like 2 effects with it. That's very, very powerful, especially getting hit into, like, if it gets hit in security, has a great effect. Here we're going to see purple going to swing in here. Does hit into this security green Digimon, so on play, gets to rest a Digimon. Goes ahead and goes in for that Ghostmon there, that blocker Ghostmon. And here we're going to see this new Destruction Wave card, which is mill the top 3 cards of your deck to your trash. And then you can add I believe it's a purple level 5 or below. Or it could just be anything. Get to add from trash to hand. So 1 play cost, it's okay. Mill 3. There's a lot of cards this set that when cards are milled from deck to trash in purple, they trigger. This is kind of the beginning of it. EX2, we see a whole lot more of that. So that card in EX2 is very powerful. In the Mastemon build, it's just okay, I think. So it goes ahead and pitches those. Struggles with the ping a little bit. Looks like they grabbed the Gatomon out, and then they're just going to hard play the Gatomon a pass turn here. So 5 play cost, again, reveal the top 3. And this one's a little bit better. Instead of it just being the angels, you get to add 1 yellow and 1 purple. And since there's so many duo colors in this set, it's always good. So here that Gatomon will be the yellow and that Tsukaimon will be the purple. And then bottom deck that option there. So goes and plays that out. Gives Imperial a ton of memory to work with. So 3 bodies on field could definitely take game. A Imperialdramon on top of the level 4 there could take game here. Oh, but immediately hits into a Chaos Wave and bounces that extra rookie to the top of the security stack. Doesn't go for the security Digimon. Probably a good idea not to choose the security Digimon to go back into security. But there we do see the Imperialdramon go ahead and get brought down. 2 swings here. Probably going to clear the suspended Digimon just because you don't want too many bodies on field. They have a Gatomon and a yellow already on field, so next turn you got to deal with more Mastemon shenanigans potentially. So definitely got to clear off as much as you can. Swings in for a second check, or at least 1 more check with the Imperialdramon. And then we see the new Imperial come down. Very powerful card. Gets to play level 4 or below, so 2 different Digimon from stack. Unfortunately, only has a single level 4. The on-play effect will trigger here, but it won't matter too much as this does pass turn to Evo into the Imperialdramon. Now, if they had had 1 more color, a rookie or anything, the game definitely could have been swung in their favor tremendously. But only being able to play out a single Digimon probably not going to be enough here. So here we do see another Lady Devimon get Evo'd for 1 cost on top of that Gatomon. So powerful. Extremely, extremely powerful. Looks like the Angelomon's going to go ahead and swing in here, clears off that Wormmon, and then the Lady Devimon is going to swing. You already know what's in the top of security because you stacked it with the option card that got hit in security, so you know you're safe. And now you can DNA Digivolve, assuming ping will allow you to, and not throw your cards into oblivion. So now we're going to see that Joggerus for 0. Crazy stuff here. So then we're going to see that Mastemon get triggered again, grabs the Angelomon, puts the Angelomon in security, and then plays it again, which will give the security attack minus to the Imperial, which is so huge. And then Mastemon swings in for 2 security checks because that Angelomon has security attack plus 1 inheritable. Very nice. And then plays out a blocker to pass turn. So brutal. Probably what might set them up for game here. So they're going to Evo here. No security attacks on that Imperial there. It's pretty big bummer. We do see the 1-cost option, though, plus 2k and piercing, which is pretty nice because Maste is a whopping 13, so Imperial needed that buff there. Does swing over the can swing over the Maste, but does have a blocker on field. Ouch. So the kind of unfortunate, really. So at this point, can't really do too much. The game might be over here. Here we do see another of the options played, which will suspend that Digimon, but then we'll probably bounce the Mastemon to hand. Yeah. So it goes in and bounces the Maste. If they hadn't played that blocker here, blue actually would have been in a great position because the board would have been cleared and there would only be the Tsukaimon in raising area. 5 memory or not, you can't really do much if you don't have any rush targets. So here, swings into an Imperial. If that had been another one of the options, could have bounced the Angelomon to hand and actually maybe done something, although we see the option in security. So even if they had passed turn back to the opponent would have brought up that the Betamon there, swung in with the Imperial, and then the option card would have bounced the poor rookie back to the security. Ouch. That would have been a super irritating blow for sure for Imperial. So actually an extremely close game. The decks overall are actually fairly even. I think Imperial has a slight leg up. It's just a lot faster. A big drawback though is that XVmon. So let's go ahead and take a look at those decks right quick. First up, we've got the Mastemon deck. This is, again, just using the cards out of the starter deck here. I think just maximizing out on those the level 5s, the Angelomon and the Lady Devimon is the way to go for sure. You can maybe bounce in that extra Mega if you want. Sometimes, I mean, like I said, you don't have a whole lot of choices here. The deck is pretty straightforward, and that's actually kind of nice about this is that when BT8 comes out, there's a couple more cards you can add into it, but honestly, the deck just performs really well. Nothing really feels like an overly big filler card, minus just like a couple things, like maybe the Witch feels a little bit like a filler card. The Mastemon does, sure, but clearly if you're buying 2 of the starter decks, you're going to have enough of your Angels to be covered anyway, not need to play that. But even still, some cards do need to get replaced with some of the main decks or the main set stuff. And then we'll kick it over here to Imperial. Looking at the Imperial list, the big one that I was talking about before is that XVmon is like the only blue level 4 in the deck. So once the main set comes out, swapping out that security green for the new armor Raidramon is kind of a must, because that gives you a really nice even spread of being able to have exactly what you need. Most people use the jamming XVmon from EX1 though instead of this XVmon. Just gives your Imperialdramon jamming, as we saw in that match, swinging in, hitting into that Mastemon in security. If they had stayed alive with jamming, they could have used the Imperialdramon then on top of that Imperialdramon and played out both of those level 4s again. And honestly, if that had happened, like, absolutely Imperial probably would have taken this game. but again, didn't have jamming, died to that security check against the Mastemon. So pretty big changes for sure right there. Everything else though feels pretty solid. You can play the deck completely as is, just swapping out a couple level 4s there, and if you want to, you can also add in some more VMons in the rookie slots. You really, whichever VMons you kind of want. We will be featuring both of these decks again with the BT8 cards and having like serious like meta level. These are just intro level decks, and then we're gonna build up with all of the support that we get in BT8 and have some seriously competitive decks built out of these. So stay tuned for those. Probably a couple more weeks when we get closer to the BT8 and the starter deck release dates.